Have you ever paused after making a decision, maybe something as small as picking up your phone instead of facing your thoughts, and wondered, why did I just do that? It felt like your choice, right? But what if it wasn't really yours? What if we are not as free as we think? What if we're living our lives believing we're in control, while something else, something quiet and invisible, is calling the shots? This isn't just a question for philosophers or scientists. It's a question that reaches into the core of how we live our everyday lives. So let's pause, slow down, and really sit with this. Do we really have control over our choices? From the outside, life looks like a series of decisions. You wake up and decide what to wear. You choose what to eat, what to say, who to trust, who to love. It feels like freedom. It feels like autonomy. It feels like you. But then there are the moments that don't fit this narrative. The moment you lash out at someone you love, the time you promised to quit something and went back to it, the way your body moved toward comfort even though your mind screamed for discipline. Where was choice then? Some say we're shaped by our upbringing, that your childhood, your environment, your trauma, your culture, they quietly train your preferences, your reactions, your desires. You didn't choose how you were raised. You didn't choose your first heartbreak, your first fear, your first loss, but they left fingerprints all over the way you move through the world. So when you choose to avoid risk, or choose to chase validation, or choose to stay silent when something in you wants to scream, are you choosing at all? Let's get more personal. Imagine a man named Tolu. Tolu is in his early 30s. He always wanted to be a musician. That was the dream since childhood. But his father once told him, music won't feed you. Tolu respected his father, feared him a little too. Now he works a job he doesn't love, and every day he tells himself, this is what responsible adults do. But on quiet nights, he opens his old guitar case, plays in the dark, just for himself. If you asked him why he chose his career path, he'd probably say, I made a mature decision. I wanted stability. But deep down, did he really choose? Or was he following a path paved by someone else's fear? Here's the twist. Even when we think we're choosing freely, our choices might still be reactions to pain, to past, to fear, to love. Think about how many decisions are made out of avoidance. Avoiding being alone, avoiding disappointment, avoiding feeling unworthy. So the real question may not be, are we in control? But rather, what is controlling us when we don't realize we're not in control? And once you ask that, you start to see the hidden threads. Why do you date the same kind of people? Why do you sabotage when things get good? Why do you keep chasing what never satisfies? It's not random. It's not just how life is. It's programming. Old stories replaying themselves. Traumas dressed in new costumes. And the scariest part? Until you become aware of those scripts, they will keep choosing for you. But here's the beauty. Awareness cracks the code. The moment you pause and say, wait, why did I do that? That's the moment you begin to reclaim choice. When you notice that you're running from loneliness instead of sitting with it. When you realize your anger isn't about this argument, but a wound from years ago. When you admit you're afraid of success because it might mean losing the people who loved your brokenness. That's when you start to choose again. Real choice begins where self-awareness begins. Not from a perfect mind, but from an honest heart. So, do we really have control over our choices? Maybe not always, maybe not at first, but we can learn to take our power back, not by forcing control, but by becoming deeply curious about what's choosing for us when we're not looking. And once you see it, you can interrupt it, rewrite it, choose again. So here's what I want to leave you with. What's one decision in your life right now that might not be coming from freedom, but from fear or habit or something unhealed? And more importantly, what would happen if you chose differently, just once? Not to be in control, but to be conscious. Let's talk in the comments. What's one choice you're rethinking after hearing this? Or what's been choosing for you silently? Your story might help someone else pause and choose with more awareness. Until next time, keep questioning everything.